a pleasant college football weekend. Another one comes to an end. Top 25 upsets were many and aplenty. Even my Sooners got a little scared from Army. That's kind of why I don't prognosticate on what's going to happen. At least in the OU game. I just tell you what time they're going to play. In this version, which is the college football pick'ems. But we go through the rest of the Big 12 and all the national games coming up next. We're only right here on Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away. And welcome back to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. Let's break down what's going on around the Big 12 and what I think is going to happen this weekend in the Big 12 coming up. We'll start at the, there's no midweek games here. So let's start on the Saturday games. And at 11 o'clock, there's two games here. West Virginia, they will be at Tech, either on ESPN2 or ESPNU. I'm going to have Tech playing in this ballgame, and actually have Tech winning this ballgame. Texas Tech played really well in Stillwater the other day. Not that I'm not impressed with what Will Greer has done, but it's going to be in Lubbock, and it's never easy to get way up to play in Lubbock at 11 a.m. anyway. But then these guys are all the way out from West Virginia, so they have to catch the flight. They have to make sure everything goes right. And if everything does go right, they're still distracted by all the fans and all the hoopla around Texas Tech. So give me the Raiders. The other game is who Texas Tech just beat in their upset, Oklahoma State. And they will be at the Kansas Jayhawks. Game will be on Fox Sports Net, going with the Pokes. They can easily bounce back over Kansas, right? Oh, I think so. At 1:30, Texas has their final prep game before the OU Texas matchup next week. And that will be at Kansas State. That game will be on Fox Sports 1. I actually have the Wildcats in this game, just in the fact that it's a home game for Kansas State. And Bill Snyder always has something up his sleeve when he plays Oklahoma and Texas, specifically. 2:30, that's when my Sooners will try to get a lot of their kinks fixed from the Baylor game, as they will host the Baylor Bears. The Baylor Bears on ABC at 2:30. The only other Big 12 game they have is a nightcap on ESPN2 or ESPNU, as we will have Iowa State will be at TCU. I'm going to go with TCU. The national perspective looks like this for everybody else. Starting on Thursdays when this will start, North Carolina will be at Miami of Florida. I'm going to go with Florida. Miami of Florida, the Hurricanes on ESPN, 7 o'clock. That's it on Thursday. Friday nights, Memphis at Tulane, ESPN2. I'm going to go with Memphis on that one. At 8 o'clock, an hour later, Fox Sports 1 has their college football special as UCLA is off Colorado. You got to go with the Buffs, right? UCLA really hasn't shown you very much this year, but I think that Chip Kelly's going to get this thing figured out towards the end of the process. That's the midweek games. The Saturday games for breakfast. You can wake up really early at 11 a.m. and see Purdue, as they will be at the Big House at Michigan. The game will be on the Big Ten Network. I'm going to go with Michigan. Also on the Big Ten Network, Indiana will be at Rutgers. I'm going to go with the Hoosiers of Indiana. The SEC Network, that's where you will find Louisiana or Louisiana Lafayette. They will be at Alabama. You got to go with the Tide, right? Well, I am. ABC game before ours will be, Syracuse at Clemson. Going with the Tigers. They haven't shown me a reason not to. ESPN will be from Cowboys Stadium. Arkansas will be at Texas A&M. I'm going with the Aggies. The ESPN2 channel on that one at the 11 a.m. slot will be Temple at BC. That's Boston College. I'm going to go with Boston College. Bowling Green at Georgia Tech on the ACC network. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. That Army team that we just outlasted in Norman, they will stay on the road and be at Buffalo on the CBS Sports Network. I'm going to go with the Army Black Knights. And finally at 11 a.m. Fox Sports 1, Central Michigan will be at Michigan State. I'm going to go with Sparty. 11:20 games, Virginia will be at NC State on ESPN3.com or on the ESPN3. I'm going to go with North Carolina State in this ball game. 2 o'clock, or also 1 o'clock. First, I'm sorry. University of Massachusetts will be at Ohio, ESPN3. I'm going to go with the Bobcats of Ohio. And Louisiana Monroe at Georgia State, ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with the Georgia State. 2 p.m. Now we're at the 2 p.m. game where Kent State will be at Ball State on ESPN Plus. I'm going to take Ball State. The meat of the night, your lunch, consists of these games, or at least the 2:30 slot for major college football. It includes Purdue at Nebraska on the Big Ten Network. I think Nebraska finally gets things back on track. I don't think they're going to lose another game, specifically at home. I don't think it's going to happen. Georgia will be at Tennessee for a difficult one. CBS Sports will have this one, or CBS will have this one. I'm going to go with Georgia. ESPN Plus will have Western Michigan at Miami of Ohio. I'm going to go with Miami of Ohio. They will also have at 2:30 on ESPN Plus South Alabama at Appalachian State. I'm going to go with App State. The ESPN2 ESPNU game at 2:30 will be Pittsburgh and Central Florida. I'm going to go with UCF, Central Florida. CBS Sports Network will have Cincinnati at UConn. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. ESPN3, Old Dominion at East Carolina. On ESPN3, I'm going to go with ECU, East Carolina. Coastal Carolina will be at Troy, ESPN3. I'm going to go with Troy. Rice at Wake Forest, ESPN3. I'm going with Wake Forest. And Florida State at Louisville will be on ESPN2 or ESPNU. I'm going to go with Louisville. Louisville. 3 p.m. SEC Network for Southern Mississippi at Auburn, SEC Network. Also Tennessee State at Vanderbilt, SEC Network. I'm going to go with Auburn in the Auburn game and Vandy in the Vandy game on ESPN on the SEC networks. ESPN News will also have the game there at the 3 o'clock slot. It will be Nevada at Air Force on ESPN News. I'm going to go with Air Force. 3:30, the Fox National game. Michigan's will be at Northwestern. I'm going to go with Michigan in this ball game for that one. 5 o'clock, Oregon State will be at Arizona State on the Pac-12 network. I'm actually going to go with Arizona State in this ball game. Florida at Mississippi State at 5 o'clock also. ESPN. I'm going Mississippi State. Arkansas State at Georgia State on ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with Georgia State. And Northern Illinois will be at Eastern Michigan on ESPN Plus. I'm going with Eastern Michigan. 5:30 games. Oregon will be at Cal Berkeley on Fox Sports 1. I'm going to go with Berkeley. 6 o'clock. Utah will be at Washington State. Our buddy Mike Leach on the Pac-12 network. I don't think they're going to lose again, guys. At least not this week. They might lose again eventually, but not this week in Pullman. So give me Washington State. Our old buddy from Oklahoma, who's now at Virginia Tech, takes his Hokies on the road at Duke on ESPN2, ESPNU. I'm going to go with the Dukies. Charlotte at UAB, Alabama Birmingham at 6 o'clock, ESPN 3. I'm going to go with UAB. Houston Baptist at SMU, ESPN 3. I'm going to go with Southern Methodist. On Stadium Network, Florida Atlantic at Middle Tennessee. I'm going to actually go with Middle Tennessee in this ball game in that it's a home game for MTSU. Boise State at Wyoming, CBS Sports Network. Since it's at home, evenly matched programs, I'm going to go with Wyoming. ESPN Plus will have UTEP at UTSA. I'm going to go with Texas San Antonio, it being a home game on ESPN Plus. Houston Baptist will be at Southern SMU. I'm going to go with SMU in this ball game. Hawaii at San Jose State on the Spec Hawaii Network. I'm going to go with Hawaii in this ball game. 6:30 p.m. The Ohio State University at Penn State on ABC. I'm going to go with the Lions of Penn State. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, Penn State. Also at 6:30, NBC will have Stanford at Notre Dame. I'm going to go with the Fighting Irish. Arkansas Pine Bluff will be at Florida International on ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with FIU. Our old buddy Seth Luttrell and North Texas. They will host Louisiana Tech at North Texas on the BN Sports Network. Eagle High, baby, North Texas, Mean Green. Stadium Network game there. Marshall at Western Kentucky on the Stadium Network. I'm going to go with Kentucky. And finally, South Carolina at Kentucky on the SEC Network. I'm going with Kentucky. 7:30 national games. BYU at Washington on National Fox. I'm going to go with Washington. At 8 o'clock, Ole Miss at Southern Methodist University. LSU, Louisiana State. What am I thinking? On ESPN, I'm going to go with LSU at 8 o'clock. Finally, 9 o'clock, USC at Arizona on ESPN The Deuce. I'm going to go with Arizona. Finally, Tulane at Fresno State on ESPNU. I'm going to go with Fresno State. All right, guys, don't take any of these picks to Vegas. But you know what? If you do and you want to send some of that money my way, I'm all for it. If you want to catch this and all my other videos, just go to Boomer Sooner 1982. Also on my Facebook account, Harry James Taylor. I also tweet them out at Hype Man Harry. All right, guys, thanks so much. And, Boomer Sooner, everybody. Take care. I'm out of here. See ya.